You think so? That's true because the microphone doesn't really. Why not? Gra- Grand Rising. The theme for 2024 is Grand Rising, a Grand Rising. The theme for August is unstatus quo. And the topic for today is Trauma 101. From the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. Come to me, inner Christ, inner Buddha, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke, my wisdom upon you, and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Michael Singer wrote, when you open, you bring more energy into the system, and it can heal. Energy can heal, and that's why love can heal. Kelly Harrell reminds us, we don't heal in isolation, but in community. Let's affirm together. I am gentle with myself and the world, knowing that we are all healing together. Thank you. And now, Reverend Kathleen.
Trauma 101. Are we ready for this? So let me begin just by saying that this thing called human existence on planet Earth is one in which we are exposed to a lot of traumatic events, whether they're personal or whether there's something happening in the globe, on the globe somewhere. Because of media, not only our personal experience, because of the media, we're exposed to a lot. And so I think it's probably fairly safe to say that pretty much everybody has been traumatized at one time or another. I'd say probably everyone at one time or another. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, 101. I know when I told Michelle the topic, she says, here I am, Trauma 101. Michelle's been going through a dark night of the soul, bless her heart. So we're wrapping her in love. So the beautiful thing about this spiritual teaching is that science of mind and spirit offers us a strong foundation rooted in spiritual principle and spiritual practice that supports the process of healing. And I'm probably a poster child for that. I think I am a poster child for the power of these teachings for the last 34 years that I've been involved. There's been a huge evolution. Those who knew me years ago probably would not recognize the person that is standing here before you. And that healing power, that healing presence is something that transforms the mind. It works at the causal level, the spiritual level, and therefore transforms our emotions and our physicality. And so our beautiful, actually we have 3 different pillars of science of mind. There's meditation, very healing, spiritual mind treatment, which you hear our practitioners use all the time and many of you use on a regular basis. and visioning, which is catching a higher vision for our lives. And of course, we welcome other ways as well. It's not that we're saying this is the only way to go, but these are very powerful pillars of our teaching that have supported me, supported our community, supported many of our members over the years. And therefore, what I'm offering then is these are beautiful tools to transform beliefs that cause suffering and any sense of wounding that causes, inner wounding that causes suffering. The philosophy encourages us to gather in community, to support each other in knowing the truth, to support each other in taking actions that promote healing. So we talk about treat and move your feet. And what that means simply is that we treat, we use spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, and we listen. We listen reverently for guidance, for what actions are we to take in the world. Some of our actions might be to connect with a practitioner and pray. Some actions may be to go to a chiropractor or a medical doctor or another sort of healing professional. Whatever it is, we encourage everyone to trust their guidance. Like, what is my guidance? Where am I being guided to receive support? I love that beautiful quote from Matthew, that the book of Matthew that was read by Mark, because it's such a beautiful example of the power of turning within to that Christ presence, that Buddha presence, that divine presence within for healing. Remembering there are tremendous healing energies within the essence of our being. And it doesn't mean that we have to do it alone, but our spiritual practice is really key to tapping into that center of peace, those healing energies of peace, those healing energies of love, and the healing energies of joy that are within us. And then extending it with others and community, being engaged with community so that we're extending it and supporting each other. So powerful. So today my intention is to not only enlighten us to the presence of trauma everywhere, that's going on everywhere in one form or another, and the healing practices to help soothe the soul and heal the soul. I'm also interested in being trauma sensitive in our community and in our world, so that we bring that sensitivity. If we understand that most people are walking around with some form of trauma, then it will bring us to a greater sense of understanding and compassion, and maybe actions that will shift and be a little bit different from what we normally engage in. There is something that sets off the traumatic experience from the time of childhood. And so I want to make sure everybody is aware of something called adverse childhood experiences. They call them ACEs. It's a metric that's used by the psychological field to study the impact of traumas during childhood, and that unhealed, they create physical and mental health challenges, emotional health challenges on into adulthood. And so how important it is to have a protocol, that's a psychological protocol, but also understanding that the work that we do here and what we do with other health professionals is the way that we care for ourselves and encourage each other to care for ourselves. Avoidance of that, again, can result in physical and other kinds of health challenges. So caring for the soul, so important, such an important aspect of healing from trauma. In this community, what I love about this community is there are many wise men and wise women that are present. Some are licensed practitioners. Some are just simply practitioners of this teaching. And so keep in mind that there are others that you can lean on, just as you lean on each other, to look for those folks in the community who can support you. And they are here, believe me, and in abundance. Trauma-sensitive actions. This is the next thing that I would like to talk about. So we say that we're inclusive and we're welcoming, right? That's one of our things about our community. And yet we may, if we're not careful, try to fit others into our idea of how we connect with each other. So being trauma-sensitive, let me give you some examples, is asking someone, would you like a hug, before you hug them? Ask them. And it also gives you a right, because some weeks you might want to hug and other weeks you might not. So to say, so even if you think somebody wants a hug, ask, would you like a hug today? Because there might be days when they really don't, when they really would just like some space. So if we can start being mindful about that, that's a way of being trauma sensitive. Because hugging actually can trigger a trauma reaction in someone. It's important to know that. And if someone says, no, I'd rather not have a hug today, well, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. Allowing folks to sit on the periphery until they feel comfortable to be active in the community is another trauma-sensitive action. And I know there have been some who have told me that, who came up and said, thank you for just letting me hang out for a while before I got involved. And then this particular person is now in a key leadership position. So, sometimes it just takes time. And so, again, being trauma sensitive means allowing people to take their time. Being trauma sensitive also means when you notice somebody seeming to be in trauma, encourage them to meet with a practitioner, to speak with a practitioner. You can take them and bring them right over to a practitioner. I know we have quite a few practitioners in the community, and believe me, if somebody brings someone to me, even during the service, and says, Reverend Kathleen, this person maybe would like some prayer. I would do that. How many other practitioners would do that? If somebody came up to you and said, I would like a prayer today. I can't really wait. I really need something now. Yes. So that's something else to be aware of. Being trauma sensitive. This is the way that we create an environment in which people can heal from trauma. Then there's the power of animals. We have the power of community and human love to heal from trauma. We also have the healing power of animals. There are many, many stories that I've been actually scanning the internet for stories of animals, the power of animals in people's lives, animals that have saved lives. One story that really touched me was a long-distance swimmer that suddenly became surrounded by a pod of dolphins. And then those who were filming it realized they were protecting him from a shark. They stayed with him until the shark left. And it was a great white, I think, or something. I mean, it was a pretty dangerous shark. There are so many stories like this. I mean, and even just, I know how many of us love to have the videos of animals. The one that really just makes me giggle every time I think of it is the one where a whole bunch of baby goats are running across the barnyard in onesies, and then they're running back together, and then they run again. There's so Animals touch our souls in such a deep way. And that's why having a ceremony today to honor that, to me, is so important. So I would like to tell a little story first. This is about a ranch that's called the Gentle Barn. The Gentle Barn. And it matches children who've been abused with animals like cows and pigs and goats and cats and llamas and horses who have also suffered abuse. So abused children paired with abused animals that had been abused. And they help each other. They help each other heal. That's the thing that's so beautiful. Was a story there of Jackie Wagner and her friendship with Zoe the horse, both formerly abused, and the tremendous healing that took place in the emotions and in the hearts of these two beings. They actually were all from the animal kingdom, right? But animals and humans coming together in forming emotional bonds, loving bonds that heal. Let's breathe. So allowing science of mind principles to guide us, rooted in love, rooted in oneness. Let us remember to treat each other with kindness, grace, and compassion as we walk each other home. Let's breathe. And I'm ready now to begin our animal companionship blessing. Let's take a moment and look at this beautiful altar over here. We're going to be referring to it a little bit more. But Lisa and Candace just did such a beautiful job. I saw Karen putting some candles on it too. Let's just feel the gratefulness. And I'm seeing all these other little animals here that are scattered around the front of the. Yeah, there's a cat and a bird, guinea pig, a rabbit. Yeah, so many beautiful symbols of these creatures that touch our hearts and heal our souls. So this is how the ceremony is going to go. I'm going to do a reading, and then you're going to respond with, we give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on the earth. And Dan has that up there, okay? So when I pause, or I'll go like this, then you know it's your turn to do that. Animals are interwoven in our human lives, reflecting the interdependent web of all existence. We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth. Animals have offered us joy, love, and comfort. Animals have made us better humans. They've touched our hearts. We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth. Wild animals contribute to the health and balance of the ecosystem on planet Earth and deserve proper respect. Let us do our part to protect their habitats. We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth. Farm animals deserve our respect, and we give thanks for the ways they contribute to our lives. May we move ever closer to the ideal of living lightly on the earth, taking only what we must and no more. We give thanks for animal companionship in our lives and on this earth. God is the source of all life. All forms of life, including the animal kingdom, are animated by the Spirit of God and channels of divine love. I give thanks for the healing power of the love that we share. Let's rub our hands together. And let's first direct it toward the altar. These are all of the animals of our in-person people here today, people here in person. And just hold it there while I offer this blessing. We bless the animal friends of our beloved in person CSL Delaware community represented on the altar. And now let's direct it toward the screen. And we bless the animal friends of our online community shown on the screen. We bless them all in healing energies of divine light and love. May they all thrive in good health. Okay, and now let's direct it outward to all the other animals on the planet. We bless and give thanks for all other animals, furred, hoofed, clawed, finned, and feathered, gentle and fierce, wild and tame,